Hello and welcome back to Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we riff and review on the horrible, practically unknown movies based purely on their bizarre and wonderful descriptions.
I'm Brantley Eden.
I am Albert Berg, and Brantley is going to read us some, and we're going to talk about them. Take it away, Brantley.
All right, first up we have The Astral Factor.
All right.
Which sounds like an 80s album.
Are we sure we haven't done this one before?
I don't think so.
Okay. You and I talked about this one, though. We were discussing it because there is actually an album called The Astral Factor.
I think it's when we were in the car.
Yeah, we were planning ahead, and we had a list of things, and you were like, The Astral Factor sounds like an 80s album. Looked it up. It is an 80s. I don't think it is actually an 80s. I think it's a more recent album, but it is an album.
Demonstrating that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Just a little bit. A lot of knowledge is great. A convicted strangler studies the paranormal and finds a way to render himself invisible.
Is he in jail?
Well, he's convicted.
Right. But usually if you get convicted of strangling people, they put you, like, away. You get punished.
Apparently he studied in the prison library. And is like,
it was here the whole time!
I'm invisible! Anybody see where Jones went? No, he was here literally a second ago. And then I blinked.
Read that whole sentence again.
Demonstrating that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. A convicted strangler studies the paranormal and finds a way to render himself invisible.
Are these people trying to imply that the ability to render yourself invisible is like easy pickings on the science scale? It's like,
Can you not turn invisible, Al?
I have not. No, I must have missed that.
Then you have either not enough or too much knowledge. You don't have the right amount of knowledge to be dangerous. Once he escapes, he sets out to find and eliminate the 5 women who testified in his prosecution.
Oh, wow. This got bad real fast. How did he... Wait.
It doesn't say it's just
women. Did
women.
he let 5 women see him strangle people? This guy's terrible.
That's why he wouldn't learn to be invisible, because he's really bad at stealth.
All right, everybody sit down and watch now. This is how we strangle people. Joan, you're not paying attention. Get off your cell phone, Joan. I see you back there.
It's the 70s, so get that brick away from your head. It'll give you cancer. Give everyone in the room cancer. Why'd you bring it? A police lieutenant, played by Robert Foxworth, and wants you to know that. It's in parentheses.
Okay. Robert Foxworth. Yeah, absolutely. I know who that is.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
No.
That was a joke.
He's probably dead. Sets out to safeguard them.
Well, that's just sad,
and bring
really.
the invisible killer to justice.
Safeguard the women? The
yes.
5 women? But he's not an invisible ghost.
No, he's just
he's a transparent person.
Yeah. I wonder if he's amazing. But yeah, he's invisible. And he wants to strangle them.
There's not enough invisible people movies anymore.
No.
I think
Hollow Man killed that.
There used to be a lot of great, like, oh, there's footprints in the snow kind of effects, and like, ooh, we have something floating around, but it's obviously on a piece of string kind of things. They used to do that a lot more frequently.
The shot in The Invisible Man when he takes off his shirt and the things, it runs around as a pair of pants. Or no, he runs around as the shirt.
Yeah.
It actually looks great and it's hilarious. But it's ruined by that woman who's in like 5 of the Universal movies where she screams, and she has the most annoying scream of all time.
Okay.
And I hate her.
So, do you think that... Does this guy have the same problem the Invisible Man had? Did he have to be naked all the time to be invisible? Because that just adds a whole other weird layer to this guy who wants to strangle only women.
Whenever invisibility comes up, that is always the question. But now it's paranormal, not science. Therefore, they can just have him be fully clothed. Not saying he is.
Is it paranormal? He said he had knowledge.
He studied the paranormal and finds a way to render himself invisible.
It's the shadow. We found the way to cloud men's minds.
That's it. He's not actually invisible.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with the shadow. He could just like make people believe he wasn't there by instantly hypnotizing them, which was pretty awesome, honestly, in the old radio show. And then in the original novels, he wasn't invisible at all. He was just like Batman.
So yeah, what do you think of The Astral Factor?
I think that I'm just envisioning like all the scenes where they're gonna pour like, you know, water and flour on top of him to make him visible again, which should not work if it's a cult. So maybe that doesn't happen. How well does this occult invisibility work? If it can make
enough for him to escape from presumably prison.
Well, that's not that. I mean, prison doesn't have, you know, places where you're going to leave a lot of footprints. It doesn't have water falling very many places.
Well, I mean, I know that, but you know, He's got the guards to deal with.
Yeah, but all you have to do is be invisible, stand in the corner, and they're like, "Oh, he's escaped. Where's he at?" And then wait for them to walk in and leave the door open and just stroll out on your merry way. Completely buck naked.
I immediately, in my mind, flashed to a world where invisible is just a thing that happens sometimes. So immediately, whenever someone's down in their cell, they just like throw dirt in there, see if it hits them, or like dust or something. It's like, oh, we see you, Jones. Get out of the corner. Come on, turn back. Come on, we see you. Come on, get out of there.
What would the best procedure be? Something with dust or silly string. Everybody would have silly
if it's
string.
modern day, obviously it's night vision goggles, but we don't want that because that's not fun.
I would still assume that like if it stops light, it would stop heat because heat's a type of light, heat emissions. If we're advanced enough to stop, I mean, there could be goggles there, but I'm saying if you could be completely like invisible,
actually invisible,
right? I think that the silly string method would really work because they'd use that in real life to spot tripwires and stuff.
I was reading a thing
like guys in Iraq carrying around cans of silly string.
I was reading a thing. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like the problems are the unseen problems of superpowers. And one of them is being invisible means you're no longer protected from the sun's radiation, so you cook all the way through. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's not fun.
You get sunburn on your
Invisibility
liver.
became the worst thing ever now. You're invisible, but you have an umbrella. The sun is the worst.
I've seen that commercial. From that insurance company. They cover you all the time.
Next up, we have Snow Beast.
Are you sure this isn't Snow Shark, Ancient Snow Beast?
No.
You're not sure?
I'm sure that it's not.
Okay, because that's a favorite of mine. Everybody who hasn't seen the trailer for Snow Shark, Ancient Snow Beast.
All 3.6 billion of you.
Go check it out because it's great.
Yeah.
And wonderful. And it will just make you smile and have a better day.
It will improve your quality of life.
In some way or another. Like, at least you'll be thinking, oh, well, I wasn't in this movie, so it can't
At
be
least
that
I
bad.
didn't see this movie. A Colorado ski resort is the center of a winter carnival celebration, but something threatens to interrupt the festivities.
The sun!
Darn you, global warming! You ruin all the snow carnivals.
It's Aunt Marge. She doesn't want us to have any fun. She took away all of our alcohol and insisted everybody be fully clothed.
It's in Colorado, not Alabama.
I don't know.
Ma done took the booze away, and now we can't celebrate Christmas. Skiers have been found brutally slain out on the ski runs, torn apart by what appears to have been a wild animal. They're not sure, but it looks like it.
It was a wild party animal.
It is carnival time.
Exactly.
Carnival in Colorado. After eyewitnesses confirm what appears to be a large, again, they're not sure, appears to be a large human-like creature leaving the scene of the latest attack. So it's Bigfoot. It becomes apparent to some that this is something more than a bear attack. It's Bigfoot, right?
I assume, well, no, probably the Abominable Snowman.
Well, no, it's in Colorado, so it's Bigfoot.
But he's in the snow.
Yeah, but the Abominable Snowman is the Yeti, and that lives in the Himalayas.
Yeah, but they're the same kind of classification.
And they're also brown.
Oh, Bigfoot would not be camouflaged.
The Yeti is brown.
Is he?
He has brown fur.
That's not what I saw in Monsters Incorporated.
Oh, no. You're telling me a Pixar movie wasn't factually accurate to the myths of the native Himalayan people?
Yes.
What?
It's snow cones. Snow cones, dang it. I don't know.
Don't worry, it's lemon. While some people wish to warn the public and cancel the festival.
Oh, wait. No, I know where this is going.
It's going to Jaws.
This is like, we can't close the beach.
There are others with a financial stake who wishes to continue the carnival, no matter what the risk to the public.
Oh, you're the mayor from Jaws.
It's in my mind, is the same guy. He left the town. He's like, I'll go work in Colorado. Nothing ever happens in Colorado.
They don't have any ocean, no sharks. We'll definitely.
And then freaking Bigfoot shows up and he's like, "Why does the world hate me?" First sharks, now Bigfoot.
He has that same scene too with like the overweight councilman. He's like, "Nobody's out on the slopes. Get out on the slopes and show everybody how to have a good time." And the guy's like, "All right." And he like goes hands in hands with his little kids out.
Why
with their
did you
skis.
bring me here too? I like the beach. They blew the shark up. I don't care that there's like 5 sequels that don't make any sense. Curse you, voodoo shark, you stupid thing. So this could be fun.
Wait, is Voodoo Shark a real movie or is that just a reference to Jaws?
Voodoo Shark is the explanation for the third movie, Jaws the Revenge, where the shark is chasing them when they're on vacation in like Hawaii.
So we don't actually have a movie called Voodoo Shark?
I think there is, but in the novelization, it's because someone put a voodoo curse on the family. which has caused another great white shark to hunt them down.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a voodoo curse. It's classic voodoo.
I mean, it's more explanation than was in the movie, where it's just, another shark! And the mom's like, they hate us. Ugh. Drama and pathos. So I would see Snow Beast.
It does sound incredibly derivative of Jaws. What year did this come out?
1977.
So this is after Jaws.
This is, I think, immediately after Jaws.
Right after Jaws. We're like, okay.
Like that winter, probably.
What if we didn't have a shark? But we've got this bear costume.
Next up, we have Unknown World.
An unknown world. A whole confusing point of view. I don't know what the rest of the song is.
A scientist has a theory of saving mankind from a nuclear disaster by having people hide in the center of the earth to avoid the contamination and devastation. Fallout!
They avoid the detonation, but they get melted to death by the liquid nickel.
I don't get that far. They get to the mantle. It's like, this was the worst idea you've ever had. Why did you do this?
Keep digging!
Sir, we can't keep digging. Why? Because there's all the charred bodies down there. We have to dig through those now, and it's getting harder. Also, everyone's dying.
So is this like The Core?
This is the prequel to The Core. The Core is a sequel to this.
Okay.
With the financial backing of a multimillionaire who was probably on drugs or drunk or didn't care enough, the scientist develops a giant drilling rig and sets out to find the potential safe haven in the Earth's core. It's a prequel to The Core. A harrowing trip through the Earth brings the explorers to a hidden cavern, but is it the haven they were searching for? ?
No, because there's dinosaurs. There's always dinosaurs. Why are there always dinosaurs in the center of the Earth? Because the center of the Earth is awesome. Why did Nazis in the center of the Earth not have dinosaurs in it? Because it was too busy having horrific rape scenes. That's why.
You know, the second Godzilla movie, or the third Godzilla movie, was going to have Godzilla and Anguirus, part of an ecosystem that existed within the center of the Earth. Well,
the Godzilla movies have always had that, where they're like the monsters are moving underground.
No, literally there was going to be the Earth was going to be hollow, and then there was going to be a whole working ecosystem where the animals were just huge.
Okay.
And Godzilla was just going to be like normal size there. And there was going to be a giant female robot that was based on this one scientist's daughter. And she and Godzilla were going to fight. They were going to kill Anguirus, and then he's going to like pick her up and carry her across the threshold, implying that they're going to go bang, and then they nuke the place and kill everyone in there.
And what happened to this movie?
They didn't make it because like, no.
The Japanese were too weirded out with this movie. But guys,
there is a line left over from what we have left of the script during the fight where the scientist that made this role based on his daughter says it is, and I'm going to quote the best I can, like the floor play of love.
The floor play or the floor play?
I misspoke.
Okay. That's a
floor
different
play
thing.
is a whole different thing that we're not going to get into involving Godzilla and a robot.
Wow. Okay.
Next up, we have The Brain Machine. 4 people with distinctly different backgrounds all volunteer for an experiment involving mind-altering and manipulation.
You know, you'd think that their distinctly different backgrounds would have made them less likely to all volunteer for the same thing.
The volunteers all gather at a secret laboratory and are subject to a series of procedures that border on torture, including shock therapy and psychological torture. The psychological torture borders on being torture.
It's not. I was gonna say it's. They all border on torture, including the torture.
Torture is pretty bad. Not quite torture though. The final portion of the procedure involves the test subjects being exposed to an experimental device that alters the participants' minds through the exposure of their innermost fears and darkest secrets.
So they
could have skipped all the torture and stuff.
Yeah, what was the point of that?
We're gonna test manipulating your mind. Okay. Now we torture. Okay. Did that help? Nah, here's the machine's going to manipulate your mind. That was just for funsies. As it seems to be with such experimental testing, you know, because they've done this before, presumably.
Okay.
Something goes wrong. Or this is a commentary on the genre it's in. I know you've noticed a trend reading the other summaries. Bad things happen when you do stuff in science. Something goes wrong with the procedure, and the test subjects and scientists suffer the horrible results. Best case scenario for this to be awesome, their fears become real.
Oh, it's like the Before I Wake scenario. Have you seen that trailer?
No.
Where the kid like has nightmares that become real?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't always scared of really scary things, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, it's like Inside Out, right? Where it's like the vacuum cleaner and the giant clown and stuff.
Yeah, like that. If you bring that real, unless you like bring it where it's filtered through the terror and becomes like a monstrous form,
right?
It's not going to work. Because if someone's afraid of clowns and it's literally just a clown shows up, not like an evil clown, everyone else is mildly annoyed. And he's like honking the horns like, dude, go away. Shut up, bozo. I'm trying to get this machine to shut off. Clowns only communicate with horns, just so you know.
Like, what other kind of phobias would they have that could... Some people are afraid of old people. It's like they conjure up this grandma who's just like, I can't find my teeth. And the one person's like,
he's like, really? This? Really? Really? All right, fine, whatever. Grandma, hang out with Bozo.
There's the guy that has the fear of horses. Just this beautiful stallion shows up, and everybody's like, oh, wow, what are they? He's like quivering. The grandma gets on the horse and rides it around.
The doctor's just like massaging his tail. Was like, we could have stuck with the torture, but no, I had to try the machine. Now there's a horse, a clown, and a grandma.
Or the grandma are wearing shoes, so both of them have bare feet.
Someone with tryptophobia, so there's just like random patterns of holes on the walls, and everybody's like, what? And he's just like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
That's the fear of the number 13. Giant anthropomorphic number 13 walking around.
All the numbers in the house, I'm picturing, or in the lab, just become the number 13.
It's really difficult to do math.
Calendars are ruined. Phones don't work. And finally, we have The Wild Women of Wongo. Which is one of my favorite movie titles of all time.
Woo! Yes. I don't... Is Wongo a place or a person?
It's a place.
Okay.
We travel to the island paradise known as Wongo. We do. We're doing that now. In our minds. We're going there. There's wild women there.
My eyes. I'm imagining.
Where we discover a clan of beautiful women
who are like
pining for company.
The Madison Island from The Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are we traveling? Is it by boat or by plane, or do we swim there, or do we have a submarine?
What is the most paradisical way to travel? Because we're going to the island paradise.
Oh, it's like we're on a boat. Oh, yeah. It's this great boat. There's dolphins jumping up all around us. I'm just getting kind of an ASMR vibe right now. It's like not like a giant boat, right? But it's sort of
kind of like a yacht,
not
like a small yacht.
Little, right? Yeah. There's sails. Not like the sound of motors, just the surf and the wave and across
seagulls.
Up on the horizon, we see this island come into view. It's just a dot at first and it comes closer and it's gorgeous and green and like the water sort of starts to get more shallow and more turquoise colored. And what happens next?
We discover a clan of beautiful women who are pining for company.
Oh yeah, I'm envisioning that God. Right now.
What are we hearing that noise in my nightmares?
They just hurl themselves into the surf when we show up. They're like men, or not even men. They're just like they're like other people. I hate all these other women.
They all hate each other. It's just the cattiest group of women that just constantly talk crap about each other. It's like, Sheila's hair is terrible. Well, I hate your dress, Marsha. And then other people's like, thank God. Other people don't have to talk to you anymore.
They throw themselves into surf. Half of them drown trying to get to the boat before we get there.
Luckily, they discover a tribe of handsome men on the opposite side of the island. They hadn't looked there yet.
Wait, so we're traveling to this place, but they're not interested.
There's handsome guys over there, and they just ditch us. We went to the paradise island of Wongo, and these wild women just bailed on us.
Those guys are handsome, okay?
That's fair. Unfortunately for the romantically challenged women, this was written by a guy.
Yeah.
The island is also home to a horde of lonely ape men.
Oh, wow.
Who are planning to forcibly take them as mates.
Whoa! Whoa! Serious racism allegory.
Jump ship right there into a whole different movie.
Oh, no. What year did this come out?
1958.
Okay. That's
It's in color. And it's unrated, ladies.
What color are the ape men?
They're lonely.
Yeah, I bet they are. I'm just getting serious.
Okay, so what is with this island?
Type vibes from this.
So on this island, Wongo, there's a group of lonely women that are pining for company. Just like out on the beach, is like, if only I had a man.
I would walk 5 steps to the other side of the island to look for some.
You don't know how big it is. It could be like Honolulu. It's fairly large.
They're a tribe.
But yeah,
they didn't just get there, Brantley.
On the opposite side of the island is a group of men.
Right?
This is a group of handsome men, Adonises, chiseled chins.
Do you think that they're not happy?
Perfect nose.
Now we're gonna have to bang these girls.
They're not pining for company.
They're not.
They're just handsome.
They were real happy. They were all smoking hot. And they're like, this is an island paradise, you guys.
It's just a bunch of dudes. They're hanging out. They're playing volleyball. They're just like broing out, high-fiving all the time. It's like, yeah, man.
It's that beach volleyball scene from Air Force, or not Air Force One. What's the movie where they're flying the
Top
jets?
Gun.
Top Gun.
It's just that's their life. Long. They base their life on that.
Right.
The movie hadn't come out yet, but they're based their life on that.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, the women are just like, if only there was a man, I can make him dinner because it's the 50s. And then the men on the exact opposite side of the island, and somewhere between them two is just a group of lonely men.
Right.
Who presumably...
I've looked at both of these people and would take either one, really.
I mean, they go for the women.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay.
Because they're real men, they're hairy, and they like the ladies.
Yes.
Whereas these good-looking pretty boys, clearly gay.
So this is about women who fall for gay men? It's not a weird race allegory where the black people are the chips?
No, that would be horrible.
Okay, I'm good. I'm glad we avoided that bullet.
It's a whole other issue with political correctness.
Okay.
It's about sexuality.
Okay.
In the 50s.
Well, I think that's about going to do it for us on this episode. Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't done it already, subscribe to this podcast, leave us a rating on iTunes. It really helps. And tell a friend or a non-friend about us. You can tell your enemies too. That's cool. They probably won't listen as much as your friends will, but we'll take it.
Send them an angry email with a link. Just
Walk
to mess
into
with
a
them.
library with the boombox and just play the podcast. They'll appreciate it.
It's the most awkward thing to like rebelliously play on a boombox. It's like, and then this movie is not great, but we're going to talk about it anyways based on the description. It's just like some kid standing there defiantly with a boombox raised above him. If anyone does that, send a video to something. On YouTube, do a video response.
We will shout you out personally in the podcast. That is all we can offer you.
All right. I'm Brantley Heaton.
And I'm Albert Berg. We'll see you next week.